Ready in 3, 2... Hey! Stop! Get out of here! Alright buddy, it's time. Let's go. Oh, come on. I hate all of you. I just wanted to record my intro. Alright, let's quickly clean up and start recording before we get interrupted again. What's up guys, my name is Simel, and this is my buddy Select. What's up guys, my name is Simel, and this is my buddy Select. You know what? I'm done. I don't even care anymore. Here, we're gonna look at some of the best ground mounts in the game and put their lap times on this leaderboard. I've broken it down to early game, mid game, and late game. And I'll be judging our mounts on 3 main categories. Their combat stats, stamina, health, defense, and attack, but most importantly, their speed.
The speed!
What kind of utility they bring to the table, like being able to double jump, triple jump, how useful they are in the dungeons, and so on. And finally, we're going to race them and look at their lap times. One quick clarification though, each PAL technically has 2 speed stats, running and sprinting speed. For the purposes of this video, whenever I talk about speed, I'm only referring to the sprinting speed. With that said, let's begin. Our early game options are pretty limited. Dire Howl is easily the best one on this list, with Univolt being a decent alternative. All the others are pretty much trash when it comes to speed, but they do provide some utility, so we can take a look at them. Here are the stats. You can just pause the video if you're interested since there's so much information on the screen. Let's look at Dire Howl first. This puppy is built for speed. The only weakness it has is its pathetic jumping power. It's easily the fastest mount you can have early game, and because of its small size, it can easily navigate cramped spaces like dungeons and dense forests. It can also be condensed to increase its speed by another 20%. In case you're not aware, condensing is a process of combining a bunch of the same pals into one to upgrade it. It's indicated by stars. Getting the first 2 stars isn't too bad, but to get to 4 stars you need a total of 116 pals. But even a 1-star Dire Howl will easily outspeed Univolt. Another way to boost speed is with passive skills. These are the 4 I prefer. An alternate route is to go with Nimble instead of the stamina to stack that speed, but I'll take that 50% stamina over 10% speed any day. Now let's get those passives on our puppy to practically double its speed. Let's take a quick look at the other mounts as well. Starting with Rush Hour. Not much to say, it's pretty much only good for mining in the early game. Melpaka has decent stats and can be useful in dungeons, but it's pretty much only useful when it's assigned to the ranch. Now Eikthyr is just an overall disappointment. It can run, but not that fast. It can double jump, but not that high. It has majestic antlers, but they have a massive hitbox, so it takes a lot of damage and it gets stuck everywhere. Its only redeeming quality is that it can chop some wood at the base. Next is Univolt. As I said before, it's a pretty decent alternative to Dire Howl. It has the best stats of all the early game mounts, it doesn't get stuck anywhere, and it packs a punch. Now, I'm not even going to waste my time racing these 3. I really only care about these 2. Now at this point, for some reason I thought it would be a great idea to test Dire Howl's speed at various stages, including passive skills and an alpha Dire Howl. This meant I had to go on a catching spree. I also got the breeding farms going so I could get those speed passives. To be honest, it didn't take as long as I thought it would, but still long enough for me to pretty much lose my sanity. Anyway, let's get to racing. As expected, the 1 star definitely beat Univolt. Now let's see how the 2, 3, and 4 stars do. Those look pretty good. Now let's add those speed passives and see what happens. Because these names are a bit of a mouthful, I'm just gonna call them Skull, Hati, and Fenrir. Fenrir is an alpha pal, which means it's bigger in size. I wanted to see how much the size affects their speed. I have to say, I was quite surprised by the speed difference. I expected it to be slightly faster, but 3 seconds faster is pretty significant. Although I do want to point out that technically it's not faster because its speed went up, it's more so that the larger size makes it cover more ground. Now let's talk about the mid game. We have some great choices here. You can pretty much pick any of these and not go wrong. At the end of the day, it just comes down to personal preference, so any of these mounts can easily work in the late game as well. Let's start with Dezmu. Right off the bat, its partner skill allows it to move 50% faster on dirt or sand, which can then be upgraded to 100% when condensed to 4 stars. I absolutely love exploring the desert on this bird. You can literally run circles around your enemies. So under the right conditions, it's easily the fastest ground mount in the game, even beating out the legendary pal Necromus. Fengalope is next. In terms of speed, it's slower than Direhowl, but it makes up for that with its insane verticality. With the highest jumping power in the game, you can navigate any terrain with little to no difficulty. It's an easy pick for an all-terrain mount. Greyhound. It can only be found here in the desert biome. It's faster than Fengalope, but weaker in all other stats. It does have a double jump, but it doesn't even come close to Fengalope's height. Despite all that, I've always preferred Greyhound over Fengalope because I love its sleek design, and its double jump does the job in most situations. If I need to jump as high as Fengalope can, I'd rather just use a flying mount. Kitsune is next. It's only found on this mountain at nighttime. I'll be honest, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to have this guy on the list, but the utility it provides is so good that I just had to. Immunity from heat and cold is amazing, but when they added items that do the same thing, it pretty much made this fox redundant, because its speed is so low that it doesn't even come close to the other mounts on this list. Now let's move on to Pyrene. It's only found by the volcano, and alongside its dark variant, it's easily the most majestic mount on the list. It has the highest base speed among all non-legendary pals, has a decent jump, and solid stats, all of which makes it great in combat and dungeons. Overall, it's a fantastic choice. With all that out of the way, let's get to racing. For the late game, we only have 2 choices, both legendaries. Palladius, and Necromus. Palladius can triple jump, but somehow still falls short of Fangalope's height, while Necromus can double jump and falls short of Rayhound's height. And since they're both legendaries, they're top tier in terms of stats and combat. Now let's see how they perform on the track. Alright, it's finally time to reveal the leaderboard. Starting from the bottom, we have Kitsune, Fangalope, Direhowl, Univolt, Rayhound, Pyrene, Palladius, Daismu, and Necromus. So at this point, you might be thinking, so who's missing? Well, I'm about to cheat and throw in a flying pal into the mix here. I just wanted to show you guys just how ridiculously fast Jet Dragon is compared to the rest of the pals in the game. Look at that, that's just insane. Anyway guys, this video was a lot of fun, but so much work to put together. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know if... Oh my god, you're still here?
I just want to be a part of your video.
Oh really? Alright guys, let me know if one of your favorite mounts didn't make it on the list. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Peace!